They can be activated by pressing the skill button, medium, heavy, and forward
Time. Wait, I know I've seen this input somewhere before. Hello, YouTube. It's little Derek.comics back with another video, and we are going to be looking at Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls official beginner guide. So, I'm super excited about this game. Like, I love tag fighters, and this is like the main one I want to look out for. This one in 2XKO. So I want to see what all the mechanics have to them. So we're just going to look at it. I'm going to break it down. But if you like content like this, if you like fighting games, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more. I make videos like this all the time. So with that being said, let's go ahead and look at this this guide.
The assemble gauge sits just below the vital gauge and is used for assist-related mechanics. On the bottom of the screen, you can see your skill gauge. This is needed to perform powerful skills with your lead character.
Okay, so you got a top meter for like assists and things, and then you've got a bottom meter for meter and things like that.
The first round of a match starts off in a 2v2 format. Executing a successful throw or landing certain special moves in just the right location sends the opponent flying and triggers a stage transition, reuniting.
It starts off in a 2v2. That's interesting. I guess it might heat up later on, but also the stage transition are very much reminiscent of Dragon Ball Fighters. A strong enough special move or a throw will trigger it.
Location sends the opponent flying and triggers a stage transition, reuniting you with your third and then fourth ally.
Okay, so the stage transitions allow you to get the 4v4. So you don't get, it's a 2v2 up until you stage transition, then I guess you get the 4v4.
Your allies also meet up with you when you slam the opponent into the stage corner or lose a round.
KO! So outside of the stage transitions, if you get a wall splat, I guess, or you lose the round, then you'll get the 4v4. So
round 2.
When an ally meets up with you, the maximum values for your vital gauge and skill gauge also increase. Try to get your team together as fast as you can in order to reach your team's full potential.
Okay, so you want to be quick about getting that wall splat. Also, you get more meters when you have more of the teammates, apparently. So it seems like you're kind of wanting to rush to get these resources.
Here's a look at the button layouts for both controller and arcade stick.
Okay, this is going to be important. So obviously we know light, medium, heavy. That's simple. We have unique attack and assemble. So this is going to be, assemble is going to be assist. And unique attack, I guess that's the special attack because it says special attack right there. Quick moves, are these like beginner controls? I'm sure that they'll explain it, but
feel free to mix things up in the key config menu to come up with a custom layout that suits your needs and playstyle. Options, such as the ability to set macros for simultaneous button presses, will also be available.
I'm using that. I'm letting you know right now I'm using that. Every fighting game, I'm using macros because why wouldn't I, bro? It's 2025. If you aren't using macros, you're playing on extremely hard difficulty for no reason, bro. Take them shortcuts.
Quickly tap forward twice or press the dash button to perform a dash. Okay. Quickly tap back twice or press back and the dash button to perform a back dash.
So there is a dash button. So yeah, quick dash is a dedicated dash button. So we know what that is now.
It can also be performed mid-air.
And then you have air.
Input another upward direction during a jump to perform a double jump. Quickly tapping down before jumping from the ground lets you perform a high jump.
The super jumps.
You can
do a double jump from a super jump. That's cool.
There are 3 types of normal attacks: light, medium, and heavy. Each attack has variations that can be used while jumping or crouching. These attacks can also change when combined with directional inputs, such as pressing forward and heavy or down.
Okay. So the basic stuff is light, medium, heavy, but the directional inputs on top of them will make the moves more unique. Right? They're basically command normals.
Unique attacks Activated with the unique attack button, perform actions distinct to a character's abilities. Captain America throws his shield in a special trajectory. Iron Man fires his repulsor blasts. Ms. Marvel extends her arm to move.
Okay.
Each character has their own set of special moves called skills.
Okay. Okay, so the unique attack and the skills are different. So unique attack, think of a unique attack as like a V, like the V system from Street Fighter. I said this in the Hunter x Hunter video too. But basically everybody has dedicated special moves and then they have like one unique extra skill on top of that. So I think that's good. I think that part of Street Fighter Five, even though it was pretty contentious, I think it's good that people do have those unique moves that are different from each other, especially in a game like this where you have multiple characters. So unique moves. We'll look back at the controller layout towards the end, but unique moves are basically like the V system, and then the quick skills are your special moves. So
You
let's
can
talk about
perform
them.
a variety of skills using different combinations of directional inputs. Press the skill button, medium, and a directional input to perform a variation of that skill. Pressing the skill button, heavy, and a directional input costs you 25 skill gauge, but allows you to use the EX version of that skill.
They managed to get the simple special inputs while still being able to execute EX moves. So you get basically the smash type specials where it's like directional inputs. But also if you combine that with like heavy attack or medium attack, then they'll get like a different variation of them. So you have like medium specials and then you have like heavy, which does the EX. So very clever use of that, especially like we'll look at the control layout one more time, like I said, but that can be really complicated depending on where that quick skill is on the controller, but we'll look at it after this breakdown.
Called an extra skill. Skills are not limited to the skill button. Command inputs can also be used to perform skills. Skills performed with command inputs deal slightly more damage.
Okay, so we've seen this in a lot of modern fighters. They'll have the traditional inputs and the modern kind of controls, but usually the traditional inputs give you more damage. There's always incentive to do traditional. So I think that's great. I'm going to use traditional, but even having the option, sometimes you will just need to execute something quicker. You know, you might need that extra frame to get something out. So both can be useful. I think that's great that you have those options.
With command inputs deal slightly more damage. Super skills are powerful special moves that cost 50 skill gauge. They can be activated by pressing the skill button, medium, and heavy simultaneously. Ultimate skills pack.
Okay, so it's actually kind of perform. I know you lying. All right, so yeah, with these three buttons, or quarter circle, medium, and heavy, either one, whichever fits your fancy, you will get basically a super.
Ultimate skills pack even more of a punch and cost 100 skill gauge. They can be activated by pressing the skill button, medium, heavy, and forward
Time. Wait, I know I've seen this input somewhere before. Oh freak! Where have I seen this input? Oh my gosh, I know I've seen that input. Oh, it's Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear is where I've seen that input. Okay, so for a half circle back and then forward plus a medium and a heavy, you'll get the ultimate skill. Listen, man, I'm a traditional fighting game player, and I might not even. I might. See, I don't play Guilty Gear like that. This is why. But
simultaneously. Both super and ultimate skills can deal serious damage when worked into a combo.
let me get this straight. The super skill cost what? Like, was it 50? Is that what they said? And then the other one cost like 100. Um, I'm gonna just because I know this video is gonna be long. I'm gonna just assume that's what they said. So it's not like a level one, a level two. One just costs more meter than the other, which is an interesting take.
Allows you to perform a combo by pressing attack buttons repeatedly. Press light repeatedly to execute a light route combo. This combo calls in allies to perform a series of attacks before using a skill attack, sending the opponent flying.
So a light auto combo, basically. That's what it looks like.
Press medium repeatedly to execute a medium route combo. This combo features a skill attack and finishes with a super skill. Press heavy repeatedly to execute a heavy route combo. This heavy hitting combo features an extra skill before ending with an ultimate skill.
All right, so it seems like yeah. So if you do the light version, you're going to get your team in the combos. Good for beginners. Not this is not gonna be good for after playing with for a while because you can just tag in your teammates normally and get a much better combo. That didn't even look like that optimal of a combo.
Sending the opponent flying.
And then the medium is going to give you that kind of
to execute a
that
medium route
cheaper
combo.
super for
This
the
combo
level.
features a
This is going to give you that kind of cheaper super. Yeah, and then the last one, the heavy one, is going to give you that ultimate skill. And then it looked like it gave you a EX move in the middle of it too. So this one can cost a lot of meter. For beginners, this is great. For your average player, it's kind of like how fighters works where you have your auto combos, but a lot of the time you won't use them at like higher level play. So, but it's good that they have that entry level. It's good that they have that kind of entry level option though.
Change routes midway during the link attack as well, such as going from light to medium to heavy.
Yeah.
The assist attack in the light route powers up with the more allies you have available on your team. Slam Launcher. Press down and heavy near the opponent to launch them into the air with the Slam Launcher.
Okay, so universal launcher. That's basically how that works.
After launching the opponent, you have a set duration of time to perform a series of follow-up attacks while mid-air. With a few attacks in, press down and heavy to perform a powerful knockdown, or forward and heavy to trigger a blowback attack. Assemble assist.
Okay, so when you do the combo in the air, you can either do a knockdown or what looks like a stage transition. So stage transitions are going to be very important in this game.
Activated with combinations of the assist button and different directional inputs, can perform a variety of team actions. Press the assist button or assist and forward to summon your ally in the first slot. Press down and assist to summon your ally in the second slot, and press back and assist to summon your ally in the third slot.
Okay, so this is actually really good that they have a dedicated assist since this is a four-man fighter. Basically, with the direction you put on this one button, it'll dictate how many or which assist you call out. And you can kind of see right here, here's the left one, here's the down one, here's the right one. So it's pretty self-explanatory. That's a very great take on this. I really love that. I love the way they handled the buttons. Yeah.
You can also swap with your ally character by holding the assist button when calling in the ally. Alternatively, you can swap in your ally by pressing the assist button when an assist attack hits or during your ally's standby animation.
Okay, so a couple things to talk about there. The way you tag usually in this game, or swap out usually in this game, is to hold the tag button, which if you just hold the button, it'll give you your right assist. And I'm sure if you press one of the directional buttons like left or down and hold it, then you'll swap out your other assist. And you can also, active tag once they like hit the character. So whenever one of your allies hits the enemy, you can tag in, or if they're on standby, like after their animation is done, you can also switch to them. So that's going to be very interesting for combos because they definitely have active tag, but since those are like a couple options you have to switch out, that can make it really interesting. Sometimes you might need to wait for them to like stop the animation when they're on standby so that you can continue the combo. And then other times you might want to switch right when they hit. So this is really intricate. I really love how they're executing this.
hits, or during your ally's standby animation. If you've summoned multiple assists, you can tag in with the last ally called in.
Okay. So if you have like two or even like three, if you can do that, if you have all of your teammates out at the same time, you can't just randomly pick who you're gonna switch to. You have to switch to the last person. So active tagging might be relegated to the last character that you switch out. Yeah. If your teammate gets hit, you can't tag into them. So you get happy birthday, it's over with. I mean, obviously, but even outside of that, if they get smacked, you can't switch to them anyway. So be
There
careful.
are various types of assemble assist actions. The assist attacks will change depending on the slot each ally is in. If an ally is summoned in mid-air, or after performing an attack with the lead character. When calling an assist while on the ground, the assist attacks will change depending on the slot each ally is in. If an ally is summoned in mid-air, or after performing an attack with the lead character. When calling an assist while on the ground, the assist attack type is determined by which slot you are calling in. Tapping assist summons the ally in the first slot to perform a shooter assist, generally using projectiles. The down and assist input summons the ally in the second slot to perform a vertical assist, generally with an anti-air attack. Lastly, the back and assist input summons the ally in the third slot to perform an assault assist, an attack that leverages the unique abilities of that particular ally.
You don't pick necessarily which assist you have. Like in Marvel or Dragon Ball, you have the option to pick different assists. This one, you have to keep in mind which slot they're in, and they'll have a dedicated A, B, C assist. And you just have to, it's basically like if I had Go Tanks on my team, and he switches to like the anchor instead of like the second character, then he'd have a different assist. He'd have like a C assist automatically. And if he swaps back to my secondary character, he'll have like a B assist. That's basically how this works. So what that basically means is you have to constantly keep track of which spot each one of your character is at all times, and then have in mind which assist they're using. Actually, what I just said only applies to the grounded version. It's different from like the air version and if you're attacking apparently. So when you're on the ground, that's what applies. You have to keep those assists in mind, but it's different if they're in the air, I guess.
Summons the ally in the first slot to perform a shooter assist.
Okay, and basically how they're breaking it down. If they're in this first slot while you're on the ground and you call in the assist, whoever the character is, they'll do a shooter assist. So it's like a long range projectile. This is how a lot of A assists work in these type of games.
Generally using projectiles. The down and assist input summons the ally in the second slot to perform a vertical assist.
And then the second one is basically your uppercut assist. Your short. I know I'm finna put that sound in there, but this is basically your DP assist, right? This is that get off me assist. So you might not like I said, you won't even really have to keep in mind what exactly the assist does. It's just generally they'll have that specific assist, and I'm sure each one will do slightly different than the other ones, but this is basically how each one of these assists works.
Generally with an anti-air attack. Lastly, the back and assist input summons the ally in the third slot to perform an assault assist, an attack that leverages the unique abilities of that particular ally.
Okay, so it seems like I'm gonna call it ABC assist, but it's basically forward, down, and left. Just keep that in mind. But the A assist, basically a projectile assist. The B assist is the kind of uppercut, invincible reversal assist. And then the C assist is basically kind of unique to each character, it sounds like. So
Calling an ally mid-air performs an aerial assist.
okay. So keep all that in mind. But basically, you jump, you get an aerial assist. The character is going to be in the air and do an attack, and then you have ABC assist when you're on the ground. Those are the basic part. That's what I took away from that.
Rush. Pressing assist after your lead character lands an attack brings in an ally to perform a lunging attack. This costs
Okay, so they kind of whenever you're in a combo and you call a character out, they basically just lunge at the opponent. So basically like a really quick assist.
1 bar of assemble gauge, but it is highly versatile to keep a combo going or to cover for a blocked attack.
And it costs meters. So it seems like for this, I think normal assists don't cost gauge, but the assist will be on a cooldown. But this specifically cost some of the like assist gauge at the top. So this is good for block stuns, but basically your block stuns cost meter. And also it is good for combos. So I don't know that you'll be able to, because they have to be in the middle of attack while doing this. But like if you just time it and call out the other assist, then it seems like you won't even need to use the meter. So I guess it depends on the situation. Sometimes you might actually just need that assist. It might be cancelable where the other ones aren't, but
Assemble Smash is a powerful attack that lets you endure hits from the start of your move and until just before your attack lands.
bro, what? Wait. An overhead that cannot be blocked while crouching, making it a great way to mix up an opponent. So, I mean, well, you could have just called it an overhead. I get for the new players, but so this move is like an armored overhead, I guess. Okay. So with that, like I said, it's an armored overhead. For 1 meter, you can call out one assist. So if Cap does it and doesn't use any of the assists, I'm assuming it'll just be Cap. But you see, he just spent like all of that animation. But he just spent like one bar meter and he gets Miss Marvel.
On contact
And that's all he gets. But if he spends like multiple meter, we can see how many of his assists come out, right?
attack by pressing the assist button.
So he spends the 1, he gets Miss Marvel.
Each ally's
He spends 2, he gets Star-Lord.
follow-up attack.
And then he spends all 3 of them, and now he gets Doom, and it finishes it off with this cinematic attack. So this we saw in the trailer, this big epic thing where all the teammates come out. This is basically if you use all that assist bar for this specific armored overhead, it'll give you this big epic cinematic.
Costs 1 bar of assemble gauge, but garners stronger effects. The aerial version is a lunging move that tracks to the opponent's position.
So this one nullifies projectiles. So this will be good because it's the jumping version. And I'm sure not all characters have aerial projectiles. They might. But even if you're on the ground, right? If the opponent's on the ground and you do like a kind of quick hop in the air into this, you can go through their projectile.
Assemble counter. Press assist, light, and back simultaneously to perform an assemble counter.
Okay, so this whole assemble thing is going to be a big part of the game for just like offense and defense.
Light and back simultaneously to perform an assemble counter. This costs 1 bar of assemble gauge to activate, but endures attacks directly after activation and performs a counterattack with an ally. Use this with caution though, as it leaves you vulnerable if it whiffs. Super assemble.
So yeah, just like a lot of counters, it's a really good get off me option.
Assemble. Pressing a direction and assist during a super skill calls in an ally to perform their super skill.
Okay, so this is a DHC, basically delayed hyper combo, and that's basically just a super assist or an assist doing a super. So, instead of you doing a super in the middle of a combo or just your point character doing a super, you can call in your teammate to do their super.
After the attack, the called-in ally will be swapped in as the lead character.
Super into tag gives you tag super.
Super assemble can be performed up to 2 times in a row, making it an effective option, capable of unleashing 3 characters' super skills in one fell swoop. It costs 50 skill gauge each time to activate, so keep an eye on your gauges when you go for it.
Okay, so that one doesn't go off the assist gauge. This actually takes meter, which makes sense. So a little confusing. A lot of this can be very confusing for new players. I definitely understand that, but
Unleashing 3
this
characters
is basically like you're just tagging in and you're using instead of using the meter on the point character, you're using meter to swap in different characters. And this could be good for certain combos. Certain characters might have more damage. You might need to get a character out so you can keep them from dying, I'm assuming. So
crossover is a defensive technique that calls in an ally to cut in while you block. This can be executed by inputting assist and light while blocking.
okay, so this is basically not a push block, but kind of like a reversal in Street Fighter where you're like blocking and then you press forward and like what heavy attack or something like that, or in Dragon Ball Fighters where you do the reversal and you call in like your like you tag in your assist for that. This is basically the same thing except you press light and assist while blocking. So these inputs can be complicated. There's a lot of them to remember, but if you can grasp all of this is going to make a really complex fighting game.
And is a great option to go on the offense, as it lets you interrupt the opponent's attacks. However, the opponent can counter this with their own crossover reflect. Crossover reflect can be performed by pressing assist and light during the opponent's crossover.
All right, now y'all just making stuff up. Like y'all just making stuff up. Y'all pulling stuff out of your keister now. That's actually crazy. So they can counter your reversal with their own reversal. It's like they Uno reversed your Uno reverse. Yeah, so all you got to do is press the same input, but instead of blocking, you just have to catch them doing it. So very good for like reactions. If you have good reactions, you can catch that. And I want to say it's the same with fighters. If you saw them like tag in from like the reversal, you could like punish them by knocking them up. So this is basically a new option to counter that.
If you execute a
Swing.
crossover reflect at the last moment, this becomes a perfect reflect and triggers a counterattack against the opponent and their ally. Mastering the timing to execute a perfect reflect is quite challenging, but if successful, it prevents the player from summoning assists for a duration, giving you the
Okay. So there's basically a parry version of this. So if you just do it, right, you can counter them. But if you do it at like the perfect timing, then you'll keep them from being able to swap out entirely. So they'll be like screwed for a minute. So we see Cap going on the
a perfect
offensive.
reflect.
Iron Man tries to tag in Star Lord to like do the reversal, and then Cap counters that with Miss Marvel, and then she
And
hits
triggers a
both
counterattack.
Star Lord and Iron Man. So if you do the normal version and it's not the like perfect version of this, then it'll just prevent the assist from coming out. This not only prevents the assist from coming out, but it also hits the point character. You see Iron Man's just like knocked out right there. So you really don't want to abuse this because if they have that timing right, especially since this is a rollback netcode game and they can actually get rewarded for having good timing, you will be kind of cooked and then you can't tag in for a good minute after that. So also your character might die. Like they actually just straight up hit Star Lord if I'm not mistaken.
At the last moment, this becomes a perfect reflect and triggers a counterattack against
Yeah,
the
both of them
opponent
got
and their
hit.
ally.
And what I will say about that is that's going to take some serious timing because even just being able to do the normal version of that, where you're countering a counter essentially, or reversing a reversal, I guess would be the more proper term, that takes some good reaction time. But to be able to react and then time it perfectly on top of that is going to be interesting. These are going to make some nasty, just nasty, disgusting Evo matches, man. There are so many layers to this that once you actually master it and you see some high level gameplay for this is going to be intense.
This mechanic can be tough to master, but give it a shot once you get a hang of the controls.
And that's pretty much it. So there was a lot. There was a lot to cover right there. This video is going to be so long. I know it. I'm gonna try to bring it back to the controls right quick, and then I'm gonna give my thoughts. So that that's insane. So at first glance, this looks like a pretty straightforward tag fighter, but once you like really get into the meat and potatoes of it, there's just a lot going on. The assemble being binded to a button is great because there's lots of different ways for you to tag in. I'm probably gonna switch. No. This is quick assemble. Yeah. So the L2 is gonna be your universal tag button unless you like switch. Unique attack, quick skill. A lot of it I kind of already forgot. Yeah, there's just a lot going on. I'm gonna have to like look at this again. But just this simple looking layout is just so beyond. Like every one of these buttons does so many different things. Like there's reversals, there's counters to the reversals, there's reversals to the counters. It's a lot, but I'm gonna love learning it. I don't think this is like you could play this as a beginner, but like there's just so much. You would really just be button mashing, and you could button mash in a lot of games, but like defensively, you're not gonna be able to use half of this if you're just like jumping in. Like light, medium, heavy is only gonna get you so far in this game. It feels like a true sequel to Fighters, even though this isn't obviously Fighters, but it feels like they took a lot of what made Fighters good and built upon it. They tried a lot of new things, and I think this is gonna be the best one of the fighting games in terms of just sheer complexity and layers that they have going on to it. That might turn it off for the more casual audience. A lot of them, they might gravitate to 2XKO, but this is sick, dude. I'm glad they gave us this. I'll be sure to follow this and keep up with the game, but let me know what you guys thought about it. I know there was a lot to cover and a lot going on. This video recording is almost an hour long. I don't know. It'll probably be like 30 to 45 minutes when I upload it, but dude. But yeah, man, I was glad to cover it, and hopefully I broke down some stuff that y'all could like understand it. Feel free to like look back at the video. I'm gonna have to rewatch it myself, even though I explained it fairly eloquently, I think. But yeah, with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one, and be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'm out. Peace.